I'm going to show you a 2-bedroom oceanfront condo that had an average sold price of $250,000. And by the way, in 2023, it brought in $49,974. Let's check this spreadsheet out now. Now, last week I got a question. I think it was last week, either last week or the week before last. I got a question about cheaper oceanfront condos. You know, I put on my top 5 picks. They're all above $300,000. Well, what do we do for investors that still want to start out in the best financial position with a 2-bedroom, but don't have $300,000 to spend? Well, unfortunately, the price range is what it is. However, there are 2-bedroom oceanfront condos under $300,000. In this video, we're going to dive into some cheaper 2-bedroom oceanfront condos. Now, they're not going to perform not nearly as well as my top 5 picks. Just a very quick correction. Yes, 2 of them did perform as well as my top 5 picks, the Palace and Selfish Resort. But let's get back to the video. So anyways, let's jump into an Excel spreadsheet on my top 5 picks for under $300,000. One of them is about $317. But all right, so let's hop into this spreadsheet, guys. First, we're going to start with Long Bay Dune. Now, you'll see that the average active price over at Long Bay Dune is $317,500. I've got 3 units there: A2, E3, C3. Basically, in 2023, we've got a spread of a range of $11,692. That's the difference between the highest and the lowest gross rental income that I pulled. We have our highest at $37,417 and our lowest at $25,725. Now, this place was built back in 1980 and has an average gross rental income of $32,168. Now, the cash-on-cash return out here is 10%. All that being said, in my opinion, you're paying $317,500, which is substantially higher than all of the other resorts' average active or average sold prices on this spreadsheet for a unit that's bringing in $32,000 average gross rental income. Ain't no way, in my opinion. Especially when you see some of the other resorts that we have on the list, like the Selfish with a 21% cash-on-cash return and only a $255,000 price. You'll see that, average sold price. You'll see that in the top right corner of the screen. And even further, the Palace with a $275,000 price and a cash-on-cash return of 18%. So you can see there, in my opinion, that just knocks Long Bay Dune out of the running. Now, it's way overpriced, and you're only getting $32,000 in gross rental income, give or take. Now, moving right along to Buena Vista, guys, you'll see the average active price at $249,900. That's unit 902 and unit 803. Now, this is back from 2021. The data I pulled, I couldn't find any current data or more current data. We have a $12,541 gross rental income and a $23,000 gross rental income. It does have a range of $10,459. Those ranges are 2 of our higher ranges on this entire spreadsheet for Long Bay Dune and for the Buena Vista. What you can tell is, guys, that basically there is a chance that you can make less money at these resorts if you invest in them when compared to other resorts that have a range of $6,000 or $7,000 or $5,000. So, even though it's only $5,000, $6,000 or $7,000 difference, or up to $11,000 difference, when you invest in one of these other resorts, in my opinion, there's a lot less chance of you pulling a lower GRI because the units are consistently performing better and they have a lower range. Now, again, that's just my opinion. You have to do your own due diligence and research. Now, moving right along, guys, let's finish up with Buena Vista. We're at $17,771 is the average gross rental income. It was built back in '86 with only a 7% cash-on-cash return. Now, this is the least expensive unit, but it brought in the lowest gross rental income. Keep that in mind. You're only paying $249,900 for it, but it only brought in $17,771. Now, it's the second highest when it comes to variance. So again, it doesn't have very close grouping of that gross rental income, which is something that I would like to see when I invest in Oceanfront Condo Resort. Now, your lowest cash-on-cash return out of all of them, only 7%. I mean, you're only 2% above a money market account. You might as well just put the money in a money market account and have no risk, in my opinion. Now, moving right along to the Sanibel, we have an average active price of $275,816. That's unit 411, unit 315, unit 204 there. 2023 data, your lowest being $23,634, your highest being $30,310, and your range only at $6,676. Now, your average gross rental income here is $26,315, and a cash-on-cash return of as much as 10%. That does come in at a tie with Long Bay Dune on the cash-on-cash return, but keep in mind, you're paying $275,816 at the Sanibel when you're paying $317,500 at Long Bay Dune. I mean, so why wouldn't you just buy at the Sanibel for, you know, over $25,000 cheaper, over $35,000 cheaper, and get the same cash-on-cash return that you're getting at Long Bay? So, you know, that kind of that shows me that Long Bay is not doing too well here on a cash-on-cash return basis. I'd rather purchase at a place like Sanibel, save that money on the purchase price, and get the same cash-on-cash return. Now, even when you consider the average gross rental income, you know, you're at $26,315. It is about $7,000 lower than Long Bay. You have to kind of work through that and find out exactly what would work out best for you, and you know which one was going to be more profitable after you ran all your expenses and numbers to really get a deeper look at these. Now, let's move right along, and real quick, so let's move right along to Sailfish Resort. Now, this is one I really wanted to share with you. This, in my opinion, is the needle in the haystack. So it's got a $255 average sold price. This is unit 1212, 912, and 1112. We have 2023 data, 2021 data, and 2019 data. That's the only data I can get my hands on, guys. So gross rental income on the 2023 was $49,974. In 2021 was $55,534, and in 2019 was $51,812. $820. As you can see across all those years, which is a nice span, the gross rental income is pretty consistent, which is what I like to see. Come on now. So this was built back in 1999. Your range was only $5,561. So based on this historical data, if you bought a unit in there, you know, you might see a downside of around $5,600. Again, that's based on these findings right here on this spreadsheet. Now, we can't guarantee future profits or what's going to happen, but we'd like to see that really tight, close range so there's not a lot of variance going on in the gross rental income to make sure that, you know, you're putting your money where you have the best possible odds of succeeding and bringing in consistent profit and solid profit. So now this is has a cash-on-cash return of 21%. Come on. That's our highest on the board. Has an average gross rental income of $52,442. That's what I'm talking about. This is the only two-bedroom, only one two-bedroom has sold since 2021. If you'll see that little note on the screen there. Guys, what that tells me is people are buying and holding these units, most likely because it's an excellent value and it's most likely generating them some decent profit. Think about that. It's 2024 and only one two-bedroom sold in there. Wow. Why is everybody holding on to their units at Sailfish? Based on what I'm seeing on gross rental income, it could be because they're profitable. Now, this is the best value dollar, you know, as far as your cash-on-cash return goes. You're going to spend $255. The average sold price was $255, but you're bringing in on average $52,442 in gross rental income. Come on, that's what I'm talking about. This is the highest average gross rental income on the board. It does have the lowest variance, so it's got the most consistent grouping of gross rental incomes. And I'm going to suggest to you that this is a place where you'd like to do your research on social media, get involved with the social groups that are there, with the online social media groups that are there. Find out if they've got a Facebook group, get into it, and start meeting those owners and asking them questions, because the power of association is real. You can learn a lot from people just by talking to them, sending them messages, direct message them, get in front of them. That's what you want to do, because you want to get that feedback on your unit and make sure that you're doing similar things to bring in the kind of gross rental income that they're bringing in. Now, moving right along, well, real quick, before I move along, I had a client who did that very thing, used the power of association at the Meridian Resort. He messaged people on Facebook. He got to know people. You can attend HOA meetings. I mean, there's all kinds of ways. You can go meet people at the resort, call, email, text, but it's really important to find out what they're doing, to ask them questions and to learn from them, because if they're being successful there, you can be successful there, in my opinion. So I had a client did this at the Meridian Plaza. He basically got in contact with people, found out what they were doing, found out their average utility bills, found out what was going on. He really positioned himself to be successful doing this. He wasn't lackadaisical. He just didn't buy it and expect it to produce a return. But he found out what other people that were successful and had been successful there were doing, and probably got a good feel of what the community was like there, and if it was an HOA that he really want to be a part of, which is something I would suggest that you do. You can do that through Facebook, through text messages, through emails, getting to know people. Now, listen, let's move right along. The last one, but certainly not the least, is the Palace Resort. Now, guys, the average active price out here is $275,000. That's unit. This is the same unit I pulled for different years. 2113, it's unit 2113. I pulled 2022 data, has a gross rental income of $53,177, and the 2021 data has gross rental income of $45,824. Guys, that's a range of only $7,353, which is substantially less than a lot of our other resort numbers that we pulled on the board here today. Your average gross rental income was $49,501. Now, this was built back in 1986 with an 18% cash-on-cash return. Now, this is the second highest gross rental income on the board and the second best cash-on-cash return. So if I had to choose the top unit that I would invest in or have my eye on, I'd be looking at the Sailfish Resort. If I had to, find a close backup plan, that would be the Palace Resort, hands down. The Palace is a little bit more expensive, and it doesn't have as high of a gross rental income, but they are pretty close. We're talking about $3,000 difference roughly. So keep that in mind. All right, now let's get into that bottom chart, bottom right of the screen. Now I've got these listed out from lowest to highest gross rental income. So Buena Vista is at $17,771 with an average price of $249,900. Sanibel comes up with an average GRI of $26,315 at a purchase price of $275,816. Long Bay is your next highest gross rental income at $32,168 with a whopping purchase price of $317,500. I think it's way overpriced for what you're getting there. And then the Palace at $49,501 gross rental income at a $275,000 purchase price. Excellent value in my opinion. Second best on our spreadsheet. And then finally the Sailfish Resort, guys, with $52,442 in gross rental income at a $255,000 purchase price. Now, you'll notice my notes there on the screen. Your best deals under $300,000, hands down, are the Sailfish Resort and the Palace Resort. And then the Sailfish, hands down, takes the winner out of all of these listings on the screen with that 21% cash-on-cash return. Now, why are we hammering down on two-bedroom oceanfront condos? Why so much focus there? Because a two-bedroom oceanfront condo generally brings in double the gross rental income of a one-bedroom oceanfront condo and has roughly the same expenses. Additionally, I pulled numbers on the past decade, and the two bedrooms have better resellability. They had no losses over the past decade of all the years I pulled, and they had the highest amount of appreciation. Now, one bedrooms weren't far behind. They didn't have any losses either, but they just didn't appreciate as well, and you don't stand to make as much profit on a one bedroom as a two bedroom. The two bedroom units, again, appeal to a wider audience. You rent these just to younger families, couples, a a lot more people can rent them, so they bring in a lot better gross rental income. For those of you new to the ShoreWise Wealth channel, guys, I'm gonna make this process simple and easy for you. I help investors just like you all the time buy and invest in oceanfront condos in the Myrtle Beach market. Oceanfront condos can be very, very profitable. They are like a business. It's like anything else. You know, you have two CEOs in the same business, and sure enough, one runs it to the ground and the other one makes that business soar. Well, the same thing applies to oceanfront condos because they are a business. You have competitor units right here in your market that you have to size up and make sure that you're outperforming. You have to make sure that your prices are adjusted and play the whole game of pricing strategy. There's so much that you have to do in the Myrtle Beach oceanfront condo game, and I'm here to help you do it. So here are a quick few tidbits in the process of how this really comes together and works for you. It's based on gross rental income. Essentially, we're gonna look at units. I'm gonna send you over listings. You'll get in contact with me, text message, email, call, whatever. We'll get everything worked out, and I'm gonna send you over listings, oceanfront listings, because oceanfront does better than ocean view. We're gonna go through and I'm gonna pull your gross rental income on various units at that resort so you can see how the units performed over the course of 2023 or 2022, possibly 2021. I'm gonna send you over all the documents so that you can look through the HOA meeting minutes and the master deed, all that kind of stuff. But it's really based on gross rental income. I let the gross rental income tell me how much demand there is for that unit in our market and how well the resort is doing at managing itself, keeping everything updated, keeping everything working. The GRI, it's all found in that number. So you don't have to start comparing different resorts. Now, of course, if you're gonna use it for personal use, yes, you're probably gonna wanna do that. But if this is strictly a financial decision, the gross rental income has that information, and you and I are gonna dive into those numbers together. I'm gonna gather your taxes, I'm gonna gather all the stuff, the cleaning costs, I'm gonna, your HO6 insurance, your HOA dues. We're gonna put it all on a nice cool spreadsheet, and you and I are gonna dive into those numbers together. I'm gonna send that over to you. I'm gonna run your comparables. We're gonna make sure you're making a smart move, it's not overpriced. I mean, we're gonna dive into all that work, but it all starts with finding the right gross rental income and numbers that show a profit. Next in the process, we have to dive through and decide whether or not you want to use an on-site or an off-site property manager. In our market, on average, I've seen it as low as 21% for on-site property manager and as high as 60%. I'm never going to advise you to use an on-site property manager unless that's what you want to do for your own personal reasons. You know, I'm going to tell you that you need to self-manage at 3% on Airbnb so that you can rake in the most amount of profit, or you can use a company like Evolve that only charges 10%. They'll put you on all the major marketing channels and they will coordinate with your cleaners. You're literally just going to link and sync your calendar to your cleaner, who, by the way, I can introduce to you an excellent cleaning person, excellent cleaning company that can help you get your units clean. But you're gonna just link your iCalendar to your cleaning lady. Your cleaning lady is going to sync her iCalendar to yours, and she's going to see when your guests check in and out and clean the unit for you. It's that simple and that easy. And all along throughout this process, I'm going to be dropping those little bits and tips to ensure that you have a successful venture. So management, on-site, off-site. We're going to go with off-site. I'm going to tell you to if you can. And then cleaning. You know, I'm going to introduce you to cleaning services, a cleaning person to help you get that synced up. Now, there is technology for managing your prices. If you're interested in finding out about the various technologies that will manage and put a strategy in place for your pricing. For example, I was talking to a client today. You know what? I'm going to pull this up right now. I was talking to a client today, and he was telling me he's got an oceanfront condo unit he's selling. He was telling me the buyers were interested in finding out about the unit, right? And there's various pricing strategies on how owners manage and run and price their units. Now, I'm just going to share with you, he says, but we keep them selectively high as to capture the market last minute to maximize prices. So basically, he keeps those prices high so that when so that when last minute guests are looking to book his unit, he makes the premium and the extra cash. And that's the niche market that he's decided to cater to, that he believes is going to be most advantageous for him to make the maximum amount of money. And I will tell you guys, in his first year doing this, he brought in a little over $63,000 in gross rental income. His first year. He owns a unit over at the Sand Dunes Resort, which by the way is one of my top 5 picks, and I would tell you, you need to check out the Sand Dunes. It's an awesome little spot. I think it's probably the cheapest 3-bedroom cheapest 2-bedroom out of my top 5 picks, which you can see that in another video on the channel. But yeah, definitely an excellent resort. But there are different pricing strategies that you're going to use when pricing this. So technology does play a role, and there are softwares that you can purchase, to help manage that process for you if you don't have your own strategy in place. If you have questions about those softwares, send me a text message, 843-360-1737. Give me a call, and I'll gather some great software for you and send it over to you so you can start doing your own research. Well guys, my mic started going just a little dead, so I got a new one. Let's hop back into this video. All right, so let's start talking marketing your unit. Now, I'm a super huge proponent in vacation packages. I talked to a lady, I have a client that was featured in Forbes magazine. She taught me this trick. She made $33,000 in gross rental income on a very inexpensive, one of the cheapest condos in our market along the oceanfront over at the Sea Mist Resort. She brought in $33,000 in gross rental income. So all that being said, she did vacation packages, guys. She very easily would offer people packages, and they would pay a convenience fee for having somebody to pre-plan and do a lot of the work for their vacation. So I'm going to tell you, there's running Facebook ads, but there's also vacation packages. Now, and the two kind of go together, so your vacation packages, just to break them down real quick before I get into Facebook ads, you have a $500 package, you do bathrobes with rose petals on the bed, a gift for her, a gift for him, dinner for 2 at this restaurant. You simply coordinate with your cleaning lady. You give her an extra $50 or so, she'll order all the stuff for you, set it all out, and that simply, they paid $500 to you. You've spent $300, maybe $350. You've just increased the amount of gross rental income that you've brought in on that unit. And all you did was set up a simple website, offer 3 different vacation packages, and have your cleaning lady do the work. You paid her a little bit extra money. You're the middleman. And they're happy to pay that because they're on vacation. And what husband doesn't want to have a surprise gift for his wife? Come on. Anyways. You have a $1,000 package, maybe you got tickets to the country music festival or just all the different things that go on here, guys. Lots of things go on here. Golf tickets to go play somewhere or whatever it is, guys. Anyways, but you have a $1,000 package, and then you have a $1,500 package, and then you run ads on Facebook. So simple and so easy, advertising your vacation packages and your unit. Remember, even if you've gone with an on-site property manager, you can still book your own unit. You can still sell your own unit up to a certain amount, I would imagine. It's probably different for every different resort. But the point is that running Facebook ads is simple and easy. You literally can set an ad to run. You pay a few dollars a day, maybe $3, $5 a day. Set it up once for the entire year and just let it run every single day in different, you can set it up to run in certain cities throughout the US. There's all kinds of things that you can do. Now, another thing is you could easily establish a blog about your unit and write on the different activities and attractions in the Myrtle Beach market, and again, advertise your blog, run Facebook ads for your blog, maybe even run YouTube ads, do a few videos of your unit. There's all kinds of ways to market your unit and get it out there. I'm a big proponent in the Facebook ads. You can run the Facebook ads. It's cheap, simple, and easy. Literally, you get people clicking on those ads. They give you their names and their phone numbers. You call them, you email them, you text them, you set up an appointment with them, you talk to them on the phone, you get them signed, you sell them on your condo, you sell them on your unit. Simple and easy, guys, and something that I believe anybody that's self-managing should be doing. Now, I know I've just thrown a lot of information at you. The point is, I can help make this process simple and easy for you. I can walk you through all of these things step by step. I'm going to send you over some listings. You're going to send me over proof of funds or pre-approval. I don't work with any clients unless they send me proof of funds or pre-approval. I do have to be selective on where I put my time, so I do require that for anyone I work with. And then basically you send me over that proof of funds, pre-approval. I'm going to send you over listings. I'll get you started. You send me your top 3 MLS numbers. You can send that on text message, email, or give me a call. Then I'll start building spreadsheets and gathering all of the information for you that you're going to need so that you can make a savvy investment decision. And I'm going to help you out throughout the whole process. Now, we even go so far as to offering remodel services. So I do have a remodel company. I can help you out there now. I've got a client right now in the middle of purchasing, and he's doing a great remodel on the new unit that he's going to own, which is super exciting. And we help clients, again, just like you. We're going to plug you into a well-oiled machine, a network here in the Myrtle Beach market of lenders and transaction coordinators and closing attorneys and contractors and pretty much everything that you need to get your deal done and to make sure it's flowing smoothly so that you start off on the best foot in your investment adventure. Now, if you want to introduce the power of investing in Myrtle Beach oceanfront condos to your company, to your partners at your firm, however, guys, I'll come out and speak. I charge a $10,000 flat fee. I will come out and give a keynote. I'll talk about the power of investing in Myrtle Beach oceanfront condos. We'll lay out, basically some of the most profitable units for you. Maybe you want to make a purchase for your company. Maybe there's going to be like it's going to be a perk of being at your company where, people can book their vacations in Myrtle Beach. It's paid for by the company. Of course, you need to talk to your CPA about how you're going to work out all those implications. But the point is, I'll come out and talk, meet with you, spend the day with you, talk to whoever we need to talk to, and present for a $10,000 fee. That simple, that easy. Guys, you gotta trust me. You made it to the end of the video, but you need to click the video that's on your screen right now to hear how Matt Freeze makes $15,000 to $30,000 a year in annual profit off each of his 8 Myrtle Beach oceanfront condos. That's over $180,000 in average annual profits right there in passive income each and every year. Click the screen now.